So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for joining me. And what I want to do for the next couple of sessions is I want to do a little series about selling your house in 2019, because there is a few factors that we need to go over and that you will need to consider when you want to sell your house. There's a few things when I walk into my listing presentations that come up, and they're legit, and they're they're points that are validated because of the fact that you need to have the most information so that you can, at the end of the day, have the best transaction that you can have, so that you can walk away happy from each transaction. So I like to be very clear, and I'm very open about what's going on in the market, whether it is a good time to sell or not, whether, and it varies so much. Real estate is hyper local, which means that something good in one market might not be the best for the next one. So that's why I love to do my one-on-one sessions with my clients. I call them discovery sessions, because together we discover what the best strategy is, depending on your needs, depending on what your market is at the moment, depending on what is it that you want to do, where your goals are. So I love, and like I always say, my mission is to make sure that you reach your goals and I exceed your expectations so that you can refer me to your friends and family. But the number one thing is to exceed your expectations and make sure that I can help you reach your goals. So that's why I want to do this series and make sure that you guys are prepared and that you're educated enough so that when you are ready to sell that house, whether it is with me or any other realtor in your market, you have the tools and you already have a little bit of a head start. So today we're going to talk about pricing strategy, and this is something that I talk about a lot because it is so important. It's so important. It's an uncomfortable situation sometimes to tell some of my sellers that the house might not be worth what they think it's worth. Just because you do certain things to your home, as far as remodeling goes, as far as updating goes, does not mean that you're going to see a direct return on your investment. You have to think about it is, the way you think about it is, if you're going to do a renovation, if you're going to do an update, if you're going to do something that you really love, you really want to have it in your home, think of it as you enjoying that new amenity that you're adding, or those new colors that you're putting on your house, or whatever it is, the new floors. But don't think about it as an investment, because it might not be so. It's going to make the house look much better and it's going to make it look amazing, but not every buyer wants to have that exact color or that exact flooring or that new amenity that you're adding. And so do it for your advantage, do it for your enjoyment, but it's not necessarily going to reflect in a return on your investment dollar for dollar. And I did do a little list, like a 4 items of what does give you the most return on your investment on my Instagram. I did that post last Saturday. So if you want to know what repairs and what upgrades do give you the most return for your investment, go over to my Instagram at michellepais.co, and you'll be able to check those out and then make a wise decision of what you're going to do. But going back to the pricing strategy, when I walk into my clients' homes, or if we meet for coffee or whatever it is, one of the questions or one of the things that really come up is, how do we price this house? We've done X, Y, and Z upgrades, and we have all of these amenities in the house now that weren't there when we moved in, and we've colored and painted and done all of these custom-made things to it. We should price it at this price. And at that point, it's my job to go over the market, go over the comparables, and what it comes down at the end of the day is that the property is in good condition. It doesn't have to be all decked out, depending on the market. Again, remember, real estate is hyper local, but just like a ballpark, it's the house condition compared to the other properties that have sold in the neighborhood, how many beds, how many baths, and the square footage. That's what it comes down to, guys. So if you have a super decked out kitchen, yes, it's probably going to help to sell faster. It's not necessarily going to help to sell it for higher price, just because, remember, we still have to go through the appraisal contingency, right? So make sure that you are not misguided by that. By all means, if you want to get a new kitchen, do so, enjoy it, and do it for your family. But that's all I wanted to say right now. So as an investor, it's something that we take into account all the time, whether we're doing a rehab for millions of dollars in Miami Beach, or we're doing a simple, nice 3-bedroom, 1-bath house in Deerfield, which is a completely different market, Deerfield being a lower income area, Miami Beach being a super high-end income area. We have to take into consideration how much dollars will we get back from that investment. So that goes on to you as well. So with that said, what price should I do? I like to price the properties that I do with my kids, with my clients. I treat them like my kids because I'm always there for them, right? With my clients, I like to make sure that it is the right price. So what do? I make sure that I do comparables of the whole area, and I make sure I look at the amount of bedrooms, the amount of baths, the square footage, and the condition of the home. That will make a difference if you're gonna set the price in the higher level or in the lower level. But remember, the higher you put it out, so let's say you do 10% higher than the market because your property is in mint condition. I mean, it's like the most beautiful house anyone could ever see. Well, the percentage of potential buyers is going to come down. It's going to come down significantly because people, when they search, they actually put a cap on their budget. And today's consumer is the most informed consumer there's ever been in any market in any point in time. So whatever your business is, you've seen these consumers get smarter and smarter. So that consumer knows what prices are in that area. They've already done their homework. They've already gone on Google and Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia.com and all of these different websites that will give them the information they need, Redfin and so on and so forth. So they're probably not going to be looking at houses that are overpriced in that area. Nobody wants to overpay for a property. And if these people are not even looking for these prices, chances are you're not going to have a lot of people showing the property or looking at your property. And that's one of the most important steps towards selling your home, is making sure that we have those showings coming all the time. Only when we have a lot of showings is when we can get offers in. So if you want to put a price that it's over the usual price of that property, then you're probably not going to have as many showings as you could. So it is said if you put your property about 10% over market value, you're going to have 30% less people coming in to see the property. That's a lot of people that are not going to come and see the property. If you price your property 15% over market value, you're going to have only about 10% of the whole pool of buyers come and see your property. And most likely, even if they do come in, they're going to give you a lower ball offer because they know what the property is worth. Again, today's consumer is the smartest consumer we've had ever. So make sure that you're not pricing your property at a price that nobody's going to come in, or if they do come in, they're going to just give you ridiculous offers because they know already what it is about, how much that property is for. So what is my advice to you? My advice is to price it at the market value or even a little bit below. At market value, if you're in a competitive market where there's not a lot of properties out there to be sold and your property is absolutely beautiful, then why not? Let's put it at market value. Let's attract a lot of buyers and let's let them decide how much can they pay for it, okay? So, because if we have a lot of people coming in, chances are we're gonna have a lot of offers coming in. And then we're in a good place where we can pick and choose offers, or we can even go back and renegotiate or go back and give them a counter offer for maybe a little bit more. Some people do fall in love with these homes, but they're not going to necessarily overpay. But if it's a market value and we ask them maybe a couple thousand more, or we can negotiate this or that, maybe the seller's concessions can be removed, something along those lines where we can make a little bit more money, then we have that chance. If we put it at a really, really high price, then chances are we're not even going to get the offer that we want, okay? So the most important thing to take away from this today, and that I wanted to share with you, is the importance of having a good pricing strategy. And that is something that only your realtor can do with you, because they know how much prices are selling for in that market. They know the condition that it's at, the property, and they know how it compares to all the others in the same neighborhood, and they know how much inventory is available that will affect your price. If there's a lot of inventory available, chances are you're going to have to price it a little bit under market value. And again, the most important thing, just like the pictures, just like the description of your property and the price, those are the three things that create that little mystery, that create that hook for the buyers to come and see your home. The most important thing about marketing your property, about selling your property, is to get that hook out there and people to want to come and bite. You want to get people through that door. You want to get people come and see your home, because once they're in the home, they will have that feeling if it's their house or not. It could be their house. It could not be their house. That's a whole different Facebook Live that I will have to do. But you know it when you went buying for your own house. When you stepped into the house, you just know it. But there's only one way to get that person to step into that house, and it's to price it correctly, have beautiful pictures, have it in a good condition, and have a great description for your home. Right now, today, we're talking about pricing strategies. So sometimes if there's a lot of inventory in the area, I will actually place the property under market value, believe it or not. That is a strategy that I use and that it works so well. A lot of my sellers are scared to put it below market value because they do have a number that they would like to hit, or they would like to get for that property. But sometimes I ask them to take that risk with me and to trust me. And time again, I've found that when properties are under market value, we actually have a pool of offers that we can pick from, and we can make the best decision that will make it a win-win situation for everyone. So it's just little tricks, it's just little strategies, little things here and there that you can do depending on your market. If there's not a lot of inventory, yes, I'll put it at market price, still allowing to have a lot of offers come in, and still allowing my my seller, my client, to choose among a pool of offers, so that way they can really, really be happy with the outcome of the transaction. So instead of trying to win in the negotiating process, make sure that you already price it where you know that you can have a chance of choosing a great outcome for your transaction. Okay, guys, that is all for today. I just wanted to share that with you because that is so important, and a lot of people miss it. They believe if they have a beautiful home, they believe that if they have beautiful pictures and a beautiful description for their home, that's all. And part of that whole thing is having the perfect price out there so that you can pull in those buyers, so that you can, send out that hook, have them bite, and then go from there. It's all about that feeling for them after that. But before that, it's all about the pricing strategy. So if you're debating about listing your house for sale, let's get together and discuss how to price your home appropriately for your area and to maximize your exposure. Okay, guys, this is Michelle. I am the neighborhood realtor here in Miramar, Pembroke Pines in South Florida. And I'm here to help you out. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I'd be happy to set up a call and we can go over your real estate needs. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, call me. I'm your girl. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.